What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the. And I my homegirl, Slice, the wonderful, intelligent, sexy, vivacious, funny.
Okay.
And, well, I mean, she's a comedian, but she got so much more going on. She carries. She's one of the reasons I definitely got to get at least a psych degree. How many degrees you got? Oh, 3 degrees. And what do you? I know one of them's an English degree. Right or wrong? No.
Mass comm with a focus in advertising. And then I have a associate's in theater, and then I have a master's degree in secondary education.
And there you go. So she can teach and market and promote herself. And we're gonna talk about everything that's been going on in the life of Coco Brown. What's going on?
Man, look, I'm just trying to stay sane up in this house for 3 months with an 8-year-old. My brain is mush. Okay.
And started Coco's Cravables.
Yes,
so
started Coco's Cravables.
Cookies going throughout the house.
Yes.
Got an 8-year-old. Yeah, can I try? You can't try everything I'm making.
Right. No, you can't try these cookies. No.
Get something in the corner.
Coco Cravables, I call it the legal edible. You know what I mean? Because, people were doing edibles, but, you moving weed in the states that ain't legal. You messing with a felony. I ain't the one. I don't do jail well, honey. I'll let you know right now. Don't commit no crime with me because I will tell. I will not serve 1 day in jail. Please believe it. So I started working with CBD about a year ago, but I was using it in pain creams and body scrubs. And with the quarantine, the pandemic happening, I began to use it in hand sanitizers. And that was doing extremely well. And it still is on the Coco Brown collection. I'd already had that. So during the course of the quarantine, a friend of mine came to me and said, "Hey, can you make me some edibles?" And I said, "Well, if you bring me what I need, yeah." Because most of my friends that know me know I can cook. I've been told I cook like I used to be a slave. So
you cook like the slave's grandmother. Go on back out there in the
call me Honeybee. You said Honeybee in there cooking, Honeybee. I'm like, why are you calling me Honeybee? Because that was your slave name, Honeybee. So she came over and I made her some brownies and she said, "Girl, you need to sell this. Like, these are off the chain." Because I made these turtle brownies for her with caramel, pecans, double fudge, all of that, and I make it from scratch. I'm not sitting up here grabbing a box, It's like I was fortunate that I had 2 Southern grandmothers that was teaching me how to cook before I could truly look over a stove. And both of my grandmothers were country women, they made everything from scratch, and so and they never wrote down a recipe. Everything was in their head. And once they told you, they figured you better remember it. So the measuring cups, all that stuff. No, it's like, get a smidge of this and a pinch of that. That's kind of like how I learned.
Taste the batter.
Exactly.
If the batter don't taste too salty, you're good, baby.
Right. Exactly. So I was on Instagram Live one night and she was over. And she was eating one of the brownies and she was just going in about it. And I was saying, I would just be like, I was like, yeah, this is what I do. I bake it. I got nothing but time on my hands. So everybody on my timeline was like, "Yo, can you make me some? Yo, can you make me some?" So I'm thinking, well, first of all, I don't smoke weed, so I don't know where to get it. I'm not the one. But I said, wait a minute. CBD is hemp. Hemp can be sold in the flower form. That hemp has THC, which is what makes you high from marijuana. So my brain started working. So there's a store not too far from my house called the CBD Superstore, is where I was getting my CBD from to do my body scrubs and my Minty Toes cream. And so I went up there and I talked to the owner, and he and I just had a great little powwow over some wonderful, CBD infused tea, green tea. And he dropped so much knowledge on me and told me that because I had a medical card from LA, I was able to buy the CBD hemp flower in bulk. Like it's wheat. I mean, it's wheat. It looks like wheat. Right. But I can buy it in bulk because I have this card. And he was telling me the different versions to get for insomnia, anxiety, pain relief, depression, for energy. I mean, he was breaking it all down to me. And then, of course, he had access to all of these, all this hemp. So basically, he became my supplier. And then I began to make edibles for his business. And then I put the word out on Instagram Live that I was making these cravables. And the orders just started coming in like crazy. There were so many nights I was up till 4 and 5 in the morning making brownies, cookies, cornbread, pound cakes, muffins, because people were ordering. Then people were asking me, do I make the butter? Well, of course I do, because I'm making my own butter and my own oil to put into my ingredients. So now I've begun to sell the butter, and then I made it flavored. So you can get the plain butter, but you can also get Old Bay, garlic herb, Raging Cajun, buffalo.
Y'all ain't from the DMV. You don't know about the Old Bay.
Right,
you don't know
exactly.
Oh, the
Old Bay, with the summertime and the crab legs, I can't keep up with the orders. I mean, and I have a 4-ounce jar, an 8-ounce jar, and a 16-ounce jar. People order these 16-ounce jars. These 16-ounce jars is $160, and they order them. But it's a infused butter with Old Bay.
Now I want to talk about that because somebody's out there, and we're gonna cover a lot. Me and Coco was just prior to this. I had to stop. We was going on an hour and a half talk. I was like, damn,
look, that's what we do, T.
So here's the thing. For people who are interested, and some people may be trying to get their business, something like that, how did you find out the correct price point to because you're a businesswoman. So how did you find out the correct price point to find your profit margin so quickly? Because pandemic in this season, and you already have a bunch of followers and people to follow you for what you're saying. So all of a sudden, I know the first night it's easy for you to get 50 to 100 orders when you were talking about it. So how did you find your price point so quickly? You can say, okay, this is comfortable. This is where we're gonna be, and we rock on. It's hard with that because you got to scale it. Like you said, a thing about it, $160. People to get down with it, they don't care. Okay, shoot, I got it now. So how did you find your price point so quickly? Is that something your mentor, the brother, told you to how to price it, or?
I asked him what I should price my products at. With the CBD scrubs and the Minty Toes cream, I did research. I basically went online. I said, okay, what is your average CBD cream going for?
Right.
And what can I do to make mine different? What can I do to make mine stand out? Of course, I have the name and the platform, but I still just don't want to throw whatever in a jar and put my name on it. I wanted it to be right. So after doing research of what people were charging for edibles in the dispensaries, people doing home deliveries and things like that, that's how I averaged out what my price would be. I can't speak for anybody else, but I am making each and every one of these cookies and brownies and cupcakes and muffins myself. I'm in here with 3 mixers running at the same time. I've got a butter machine and 2 crock pots. I'm not playing. I'm in here. I'm like a mad scientist. So I kind of averaged in, you're getting Coco Brown to make your products, okay? You're not getting just some random person. This is me putting my blood, sweat, and tears, and my knowledge of baking and my grandmother's recipes out on Front Street. So that's how I pretty much came up with the price point. And then I thought about how much am I spending on inventory? How much am I spending on the ingredients? And I said, okay, so if I break it down, if I'm spending this much on flour and this much on yeast and this much on chocolate chips and this much on CBD and this much on this, I had to buy a butter machine. I had to buy another crock pot. I had to buy all these cookie pans. I had to buy new muffin pans. I averaged all that in. How can I make back my money? So that's what gave me the price point. And then I got smart. At first, I wasn't charging for shipping. Well, damn it, shipping is expensive. The cheapest shipping for me to send a large box is what, $25. So I said, to still give them a break, add $12 to $15 on for shipping, depending on if you're getting a small order or a big order. I mean, seriously. So but honestly, Troy, it was crazy. This took off so fast on me. I hadn't even had a business plan. I literally was on a fluke thinking I was giving myself something to do in my downtime, and it just took off. My website, I just got my website up today. everything I've been doing for the last 65, 70 days has been through an email address, cocoscravables@gmail.com, and sliding in my DM on Instagram. Seriously, like all my orders was that. But I was keeping, like, seriously, I'm so old school right now. Like, this is how I was keeping my orders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was writing down addresses, and I was logging in who got their order filled, and who got shipped where, and what's your time of shipping. And if you hit me up and said it's not here yet, I can track it. I can send you the tracking number. I mean, I'm like right now so old school right now. Like this is the Coco Brown collection and Coco's Cravables. These are my files right now. And so I ended up getting with a young lady on this networking event that I've been doing since the very beginning. It's a virtual network, a speed networking, where people get to come on and speed network with possible clients as well as other. Yeah, I have one today at 6 o'clock. And so the people, if they want to go to it, they can definitely go on my Instagram, Coco Brown One Funny Mama, and you'll see the Eventbrite and the phone number to call to register. And it's amazing. I have met some amazing business owners, Black businesses. Okay, like. It is like I can't even keep up. The young lady that just did my website for Coco's Cravables, I met her on the networking event. And it just went live today. So if people are interested, it's www.cocoscravables.com. So COCOACRAVEABLES.com, Coco's Cravables. And everything's on there. So, I mean, I literally was doing my business plan 60 days after the business took off. Like I was kind of doing everything in reverse because I didn't know it was going to take off. And then I thought it's going to die down because people are back out. Hell no. I just, like I said, I passed out over 150 menus in Florida this past weekend, and I'm filling orders every day. Like people, and you know, people are ordering from the Coco Brown collection. I just had an order come in for the Minty Toes, which is the pain relief cream that I created with a young lady who had a cosmetic line, and I incorporated CBD, and I made it for my feet so I can wear my heels longer. But I've got lupus patients, fibromyalgia, arthritis, people with eczema using it. I mean, it's become an all-out pain cream. So now it's like, okay, now the key is all these major companies are saying they want to dedicate a certain section of the store to Black-owned businesses. So now I'm really up here getting my business plan together because I want to get in on that. You know, so that's the next game plan now. I'm really getting ready to send 2 business plans over to a company now that's placing Black-owned products in Target. So it's like, so that's what I've been doing.
So I want to hit on this, and then we're gonna go in on a number of things. With that taking place, and for a little history, me and Coco's really originally from Virginia, got her feet and everything wet in Baltimore, DC, doing comedy back in the 90s.
The whole East Coast.
So I think I briefly met Coke, but we really got tight in 2008 when I moved to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And she came on board with my man Demaine as well, but she came on board, and if not for you, it wouldn't have, because people knew me from MySpace, but they didn't know me. So coming here and starting the radio show and Taboo Ron Cup Radio, and Coco came on there and not only became the co-host, but started booking the celebrities. So she would tell the celebrities, come by the radio station, and they come by, and some of them didn't know who I was. By the end of the interview, they were like, when can we do this again?
Right.
You know, if it wasn't for you, and you got to give people their roses while they're alive. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have took off. And me to develop it into, you know, Coke was one that saw a lot of the talent in me and said, you know, I was like, hey, what do you think about this comedy special I did? And he's like, yo, you really can do that improv and comedy thing really well. And developing the show, because I came up with the whole concept of taking questions from us doing it in the clothing store, you know, questions in the basket and pulling them, all that stuff. So
that was
I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate for that. I was I was her Manny at one point in time.
Yes, you were. we had kids around the same time, and we both ended up being single parents at the same damn time. Teamwork make the dream work, okay?
I'm somewhere, and she called me one night and was like, Try, what you doing? I was like, hey, doing my thing. I was like, of course I can do that. You know, so And we started, we was working, we still got to do that show to Manny, but we were writing something out. But all that to say that we talked about the merchandising thing, and you helped me a lot with the things you were learning from people like Ricky Smiley. He's like, Troy, I got to have my package in a certain way. I got to have this certain way. The merchandise is so important. I learned that early in comedy when I was doing stuff at the Comedy Factory. When, you're a local comic and people, all of a sudden you have buzz, you look up and in a month you've done 30 shows. So, and you're not thinking too much about it. Then you start traveling, and it was people like, Howard G, and then like people from this country like Jim Florentine and Salazar. Different people came in and they started doing merchandise on the show. So I'm hosting, I'm featuring. These cats come up, and I watched Jim Florentine easily because he was a guy from Crank Yankers and all the stuff he had. The prank call. He had the prank call stuff. So I watched him sell his DVDs at the end of the show, and he did the same. You know I am about that, because even with Coco, you got your material, but you flip the script. It was like Bernie Mac. You flip the script.
You never hear the same set twice. You may hear familiar material, but you won't hear it delivered the same way.
Yeah, so Jim Florentine did the same show for 7 shows back to back. But
crazy.
Oh my God. I was back there like one time I screamed and he probably thought it was more like, thank you, lady. Like
it would drive me crazy because I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of ADHD. I get bored too quick. And if even with some actors, like even when it comes to acting, like working with someone like a Tyler Perry, who will just have a creative burst in the middle of a scene and change the whole scene and throw you a whole bunch of new lines. I live for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, if I'm having to say the same thing over and over again or whatever, it gets mundane. I get bored.
You have the theater arts and improv background too.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I went through comedy sports in DC. You know what I'm saying? So it's like improv to me is easy. You give me a scenario, I can act it all out like it's been written.
So the merchandise, I learned from Jim, you got your set price you make, and back then you make, you're doing a feature, whatever, you might make $750, $500 for the people. Jim is the headliner. So he's making $1,500, $2,500 for that weekend. Sales, 200 people per show, an average of 150 DVDs. He's selling them for $15. When I started doing the numbers of that, I say, I need DVD, I need a book, I need a CD, I need you've never stopped doing that.
And I just evolved with the times too, because I remember a time, it was CDs, and then CDs began to be kind of obsolete. Then it became DVDs. Okay. And then DVDs started getting obsolete. Then, it was t-shirts, and people were like, okay, we like the t-shirts, but, and then when I began to sell my brand, I began to sell the Coco Brown scrubs and the creams, and, people literally would have bought edibles from me if I'd had them at the show. I know now to make sure that I have transportable edibles with me. Because
I was about to ask you about that. How does that float? Because you talked about shipping costs. Is it more expensive to ship food?
No, but I mean, I do priority mail because I just know it's going to be guaranteed to get there within.
And they're cookies, and it's like cookies and stuff.
It's cookies. So I can't do UPS ground and it takes 12 days for your cookies to get there. So I do. I was doing FedEx in the beginning, but at least with priority mail, the price stays. If I do a small box, it's $8.30. If I do a medium box, it's $15.30. If I do a large box, it's $21.30. So therefore, I'm keeping my costs where I know how much I'm spending. FedEx was all over the place because it's based on zip code.
Right.
So I may have something that I ship cost me $18 and come back the next day and somewhere I'm shipping may cost me $74. So I say I can't gauge my budget that way. So I had to go back to priority mail, and at least then I know it's 2 to 3 days.
So for somebody. There's a single mom, there's a single dad, there's someone home. You were able to, and I don't like to use the word hustle or grind because that attributes that you don't have balance. You were able to find a sense of balance because you hit the road as much as any comedian.
Dude, if this quarantine hadn't happened, I was literally booked every weekend until the second weekend in July.
Right.
I lost a lot of work.
Right. But in the midst of that, and this is giving people hope going forward, because a lot of people, the quarantine was coming to an end, and all of a sudden we in an uprising. For those that don't know, I don't usually date these shows, but we happen to be in 2020, the period in history you'll look at and it changed everything. We in that right now. So, exactly. And it's June of 2020. So, at what point did you say, "Oh man, this is kind of crazy," this and another? But you know what? I've already built a brand. You already, and this online piece, you've always been able to transition pretty quickly to the next thing. Is that just because that's how your mind works, because of the promotion and marketing background, or?
It is. I mean, like I said, I know you don't like the word hustler, but I've been a hustler since I was 11 years old. My first hustle was going down to my grandmama's farm.
Away from a little bit, because being from Baltimore, if I say I was a hustler, they was like, you were?
Right, they assume you sold dope, but I'm a trap queen now, so it's cool. But
we trying to get the brothers out.
I'm a legitimate hustler. Yeah,
hard time now.
I sell cravables.
Right. But somebody in jail right now, like.
Right. I just had this mentality ever since. I mean, first of all, I know I get my work ethic from my father. It's a shame to say they don't make men like my daddy too much no more. The kind of man that there are no excuses when it comes to taking care of your family. You get out and do whatever you have to do. You know what I'm saying? We're in an excuse mentality time now. And, my father's one of those types that, what do you mean I'm not taking care of my family? No. I'm going to do this. I got to do what I got to do, because I'm going to make sure my family is good no matter what. And I watched that growing up, and that was my mentality. I mean, I remember when we would come home from the country. My dad's mom lived in the country in Virginia, Southampton County. Yes, home of Loving versus Virginia. Yes, home of Nat Turner. Yes, okay. But know your history.
VA represent.
Yes, the tree they hung Nat Turner from sits on my family's property. How about that? So, I literally watched. I was down in the country. I was spending my summers in the country with my grandma. And she had cornfields and soybean fields and collard greens and everything. And my 11-year-old mind was like, I live in the city. What if I took all this home and put up a whole stand in my front yard and brought fresh vegetables to my neighbors? And my dad was like, well, as much as you can get in the back of that truck, let's make it happen, baby. So I'm out there, honey, with my little knife cutting down corn, and I'm sucking corn, and I got my soybeans, and I'm bushling up my collard, and my grandmother's out there, got my big old straw hat on.
This girl started the first farmer's market, y'all.
Seriously, at 11 years old. And I came home, and my dad, who is a jack of all trades, bless his heart, but he's he's a certified pipe fitter. But he worked for the shipyard. But my dad built me a little stand in the front yard. And it was Ferris Fresh Produce. At 11 years old, I was out there with my corn and my soybeans and my scuppernongs, which is grapes.
You're gonna have to start up Ferris farmers market. You had to bring that back.
They don't maintain the fields since my grandmother passed. They don't. Back then,
well,
my grandmother.
After this,
yeah.
One of the things that we're seeing is that there's a sister here in LA. You might remember. I forgot. I think it's Lila. I forgot her name. She's doing little videos from her little backyard in LA. Mm-hmm. She made a garden. This sister got some squashes this big, some cucumbers. Mm-hmm. But she had a cucumber. Yeah. But I was like, what you going a lot of
right.
So that's
and that was my hustle. That was my hustle from 11 to about 13. About 13, I was 14. And every year, and I lived in a white neighborhood, okay?
And they're gonna
And,
come and like,
and them white folks, honey, they was knocking on my mom. My mom was so funny. And they all start knocking on my damn door about some damn corn. I'm like, Mom, chill. Like, because they was coming out the door.
They never came over here for nothing else.
And they would beat the horn, like, and I would tell them, I said, these are the seasons. My grandma taught me about gardening. I keep saying I'm going to start me a garden because I have a very huge backyard. And that's on my bucket list to do a garden in my backyard. It really is. But she taught me, about seasons, about harvesting, about planting and all that. So I would tell them, this is when corn is coming. This is when soybeans are coming. This is when strawberries are coming. This is when the scuppernongs are coming. This is when the raspberries are coming. This is when the corn is coming. Like, so they would know. So my mom, back then you didn't have no computer. So I'm typing literally one thing at a time, this list of what's going to be in season and when. And that was my hustle. I was buying my own clothes and shoes and stuff in the 8th grade.
And people don't. I got my first. My mother. I started cooking I started cooking with my mom at 8 because one of those mothers you can't be in the kitchen unless you help. So you wasn't no coming in the kitchen.
Right. See, I got dragged in the kitchen. Come here, baby. It's the only way you're gonna get a man. I'm like, oh God, why? Jesus. It was a lie. It was lies. The lies. Okay, the lies. How many men I've cooked for and they meant Jack? The lies. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, she didn't tell you that those men would have had to have home cooked meals coming up because we got a lot of Jack.
I was making meals for fools that lived on oodles and noodles. He didn't know how good he had it with them smothered pork chops. He didn't know how good he had with them fresh greens. He didn't know.
Wrong with government. You know how long it takes to grill a government cheese sandwich? It's hand
you
all
gotta
burnt
have a
up.
toaster oven. That's the only thing that can melt government cheese. Is one of them good old fashioned one tray toaster ovens.
Prior to microwave, the toaster oven got up to 850. We weren't even supposed to.
Dude, you can fry a whole egg in that joint in 30 seconds.
It was like, where's this roast? I put the roast in the turkey.
It's so funny. Both of my grandmothers had toaster ovens, and I thought when I got my first apartment, one of the first things I bought was a toaster oven. Because I grew up with that toaster oven. My grandmother put everything in there, bacon, you name it. She put in that toaster oven.
And then could be doing something else. Ding! Oh, let me get it.
Yep, exactly.
You could be upstairs.
You ain't had a grilled cheese till you had one out of the toaster oven, honey.
All right, so like I said, 11, I bought my first pair of clippers. I started cutting hair. 12, I started working. So we come from that grind, that hustle. You took it into business with you. How has this, because being flexible and being moldable, it keeps us going. And the greatest thing in the world is that Phoenix is seeing this. Your son is seeing this. Your son knows that mom, but this is probably the longest dispensation of time in his life. No,
seriously, he has not. I've not spent this much time with my child since he was in my belly. That's real talk.
He sees this. You're doing this business. How does this change? Because I want people to hear this. Because Coco Brown is a brand actress, worked with Tyler Perry, has all this stuff, and not only has comedy stuff lined up, you're gonna get movies, you're gonna get TV shows. You're on, what was it, 911 and other shows that you're on. You're doing that. Everything stops. You keep rocking and rolling. How does this change? You're doing the interviews. You already had the media background before we even got together on radio, like that. So how does this transition what you do next? Because we recognize the comedy pieces change, but it doesn't change the entertainment. Like I said, you have a theater background, you can go anywhere. When they come call, just a little harder. I remember Howard G said something. He said, Troy, it's gonna be hard for you to leave if you can make your money. If you can make your money in Baltimore, it's gonna be hard for you.
Yeah. There are people right now that are kings of their city. Why? Because they eat very well in their backyard. And there's no point in me leaving because I got all the fame and fortune I want in this 16-block radius. I'm happy.
Right. And no offense. I mean, people, of course, like Rob and Stanley, all them in New York. New York is a whole nother world.
But that's a whole nother animal. New York don't count. When you're the king, when you the king of Mobile, Alabama, there's a problem.
Right. You the shiznit and
I'm gonna need you not to say that out loud. Okay? Don't say that out loud. Don't do that.
I run, Flint. It was like,
okay. We'll fix the water then, damn it.
yeah. Like, the water fountain. Don't.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, we love you.
Yeah.
But so how does this transition? How has this changed your mindset, or has it at all?
No, it has. It has. This time off, and then discovering other gifts, other
And you look
hustles.
amazing. I keep saying that, and I'm not trying to
Thank you.
build up your head, but you look amazing. And I've known Coco.
Thank you.
Probably,
Thank you. I don't look so haggard and worn out from being on the road and being in audition after audition, being told, hell no.
You don't look tired. You're working.
It's crazy.
You're working since you're up hours.
I'm working, but I'm doing me. I think the biggest reality check that I'm having right now is that I've spent almost 24 years of my life being that donkey in Shrek, jumping up and down in a crowd of people yelling, pick me, pick me, pick me. And for the first time in 20 some years, I'm picking me. And it feels good. And it's like my hardest debacle right now is, how will this affect me when I get the call for the next audition? How will this affect me? I mean, when I went on the road this past weekend, I hadn't been on anybody's stage since the end of February. And the first time I went on stage Thursday night in 3.5 months, I was thinking, oh Lord, maybe I should watch some of my old material, some of my old sets. If I don't remember anything, because this Instagram comedy is fun and all, but it's not true stand-up. It's not what we do. It's a means to an end for the situation we're in, but it's not the real deal. I went on stage, and literally within a matter of a minute or two, everything just started coming back to me. And I was just flowing. And it was crazy. I said, damn, I didn't forget how to ride a bike.
But your poise and your swag probably was different. You probably were
very much different.
Decimals lower.
Very much. It used to be you've seen me since kind of the beginning, Troy, when I used to go on stage and it was just raw, you're gonna love me, And now I'm on stage like, love me or leave me alone. I'm already packed.
It's Paul Mooney sitting
enjoy these jokes, enjoy this. And the thing is too, I'm not afraid to speak my truth. I actually have material that I was doing prior to all of this that's going on right now with the racial oppression and injustices and cop brutality. I had jokes already in my set about raising a Black boy and having to have the conversation and having to tell my son what to do when he gets pulled over by cops, and how he can't bring a white girl home unless it's in the daytime, and she got to go home before the lights come on. Like it was just, I already had material, but telling it now comes with a different voice, a different energy. I've definitely sprinkled a lot more truth in that joke. It's not so cut and dry anymore, because this is real. This is affecting me. It affected me, but now it's like in my face. It's in your face. The majority of my audiences, out of 6 shows, I might have had 12 Black people the whole weekend. My shows were 95, 99% white and old and Republican.
The thing that's so key in what you're saying right now is that I told somebody before, I think it was Andrew Young, that said Richard Pryor might have done more. That's the mama face, if y'all don't know what.
Did you hit your nose? I'm sorry, Troy. Did you hit your nose? Come say hi to Uncle Troy. Remember Uncle Troy? It's been a minute. Look at this big old boy.
I see. Come on in the camera. No, don't hide now. What's up, Phoenix?
Big old boy.
Hello.
He's like, no.
Did you hit your nose? Did something bite you? Okay. All right.
I was like, that was the mama face.
Put a little ice on it. And I'm going to beat it in a minute, okay? All right. I don't know what he hit his nose on, child. It's just been him in his house. I don't know if he done beat the hell out of himself. I don't know.
When I saw he was like, yeah, because I did it before. I was in an interview one day. I was like, yeah.
You go straight into parent mode, don't you?
Everything in you. I don't know if you don't have that thing when you. I've seen the mothers walk around and my and the fathers and that. Well, what's wrong? Hold on, Desmond Tutu. What?
Seriously, it's a.
But
if you are a true parent, like I said, had he just come in here and waved at me, I would have been like, "Hey, baby," and kept it moving. But he had this look on his face, and I said,
right.
What? And it's that mama mode, that parent mode. That's like, okay,
all of a sudden your whole body.
interview, but hold, I gotta be mama real quick.
You come back. All right, I'm back. What were you saying?
I'm back. We good. Put some ice on it. He all right.
This is key.
Mm-hmm.
The timing of everything. We talked about the merchandising, what it is to come back, getting on stage, riding the bike, your change, your swag. I think I mentioned Andrew Young has said, I think it was Andrew Young. I think Dick Gregory mentioned Andrew Young said, or Andrew Young said, I've heard one of them. He said Richard Pryor might have done more for race relations than Dr. King. And what people don't realize is that when you hit that stage, like you said, you hit the stage with a bunch of white people who paid their money to see you. Listen. It's equivalent to what Dave Chappelle just recently said. He did 846, and he said, wondering why people always want to hear what I have to say. And then he realized, because you trust the comedian to be honest. You know, jest. So I can get in front of people. It's the reason I do the sex, love, and relationship things. I can get in front of people and talk to them about stuff. It's when I was doing a whole, and when I do, more so gospel comedy, there may be stuff like that. Who will listen to me? And I can say stuff to any crowd. We can say stuff to any crowd and make it palatable. And they'll listen and take
No, seriously. I mean, I didn't have a Netflix platform, and nobody will ever see what happened at my shows, but I know what happened. And these white people, it's like they felt this Black woman is saying stuff that I want to talk about. And you're right, they trusted me. They figured I was gonna tell them the truth. Because after every single show, 6 shows, after every single show, I promise you, I was holding court with white people, white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, Republican,
and let me explain something.
Every age group, they are coming to me, voicing and expounding on what I said. And I'm like, I felt safe for them. Now, mind you, anybody come to me and say no ignorance. I mean, there was one dude, he was a staunch Trump supporter. And I listened. I said, okay, well, give me your point on why you think he's amazing. I need to hear this. I want to hear this. Right. And then he was done. And before I could say anything, his white wife was like, and this is why we're probably going to end up in divorce. Because I'm a Democrat. I'm like, well, girl, hold up. You got an opinion, you know. But I told him, I said, but do you realize, my biggest thing, and this is something I said on stage. I said, at this point, it's not about Republican or Democrat. I said, it's about humanity.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn about your politics right now. Are you a humane person? Do you feel an ounce of compassion or empathy watching a man have his knee on somebody's neck for 8 minutes? Do you care? That's what I care about right now. Do you have a soul? Or are you walking around here and you're just ice? I could care less about your politics right now.
That's right.
Who are you as a human being? And they were just like, and it was funny because they all, I had one white woman, it was so funny. Because, we gotta make light of it, because she could have sucked the air out the room. I do a joke about teaching my son what to do if he's in the car with his Black friends and get pulled over, and what to do if he's in the car with his white friends and get pulled over. And this white woman jumps up and she says, I told my son that if he's in the car with his Black friends, you protect them no matter what. And I'm like, whoa, like this is in the middle of my set. She jumps up and her husband's like, baby, sit down, baby, sit down.
Now people have to realize this is just this past weekend, right? This is like
past weekend in Naples,
and this is
Florida.
Another thing I wanted to say. This is Naples. I have people that live in Naples. We're talking about Naples, Florida.
Money. Put it this way. I'm going to tell you how Naples is. I was in Nordstrom Rack minding my own business, and the sweet little white lady walked up to me and asked me, did I need any help? And I said no. And then she proceeded to ask me, what team did my husband play for?
We just gonna.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you ponder on that. Okay, and this white woman just jumps out in the middle of my set, and she just goes this whole spiel about, she tells her white sons that you protect your black friends and all of this, and she goes, now she's thinking, will they get shot in the back if protect? And mind you, this could have sucked the life out of the room because it was in the middle of my joke, and it was like, whoa, and she's crying, and. Us being comedians, I'm like, don't try to judge her. Come on, girl, let them use you. Speak your truth, And the crowd is laughing. But when she was done, I said, and that's what a lot more of you white people need to do. Speak up. Thank you. And I was like, thank you, Amber. And they cracked up laughing because I don't know if her name was Amber. You know what I'm saying? But
how'd you know my name?
Right. I was like, thank you, Amber. But it's funny because I don't know why God made it that my first show out the gate in the middle of a racial division, discord, uprising, you name it, that my first shows would be in a club with my audiences 99% old, white, and Republican. But I'll tell you this, I got a lot of truth out. I got a lot of my truth out. I'm not saying I spoke for black people. I spoke for this black woman. And I did not hold back. I did not bite my tongue. And you know what? I think they like me. But do I give a damn? Nope.
You gotta hear it. This is one time that it's the best of times, it's the worst times. It's the greatest time in history. We'll go down in history.
There needs to be open dialogue. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be open dialogue. I said, I was watching the news in Florida, and this is what blew me. Every news station was showing the absolute worst of the protests, the rioting, the stupid shit, the looting. You know what I'm saying? Not one news station showed the positive, because you realize the rioting and the looting is about that good compared to the bigger picture. But that's what they're showing everybody. So now you've got all these white folks in Naples fearing a protest when they shouldn't, because all you're seeing is such a minute, small part of it, of the idiots, that are out there trying to get some new Nikes. And let's be 100.
And
a lot of white folks in there grabbing some Nikes too.
We see who's doing it. This is the first time that when my man Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution will not be televised, it's not. It's here. It's the people who are able to record stuff on the phone. If it wasn't for the fact that those phones were around for George Floyd,
we didn't know about this. We didn't know about this.
It's ever seen that. So let's because like I said, I want to rock and I want to get on some key things.
Mm-hmm.
You never had to do anything before, but what do you want to do now? Next, when it comes.
Give me a few minutes, okay? Mm-hmm. Yes, you may. Go ahead. Okay. But quiet upstairs in the room, door closed. Thank you. That is a good question, Troy. I think that's where the crossroad I'm at right now. I realized during this time that yes, I have a platform, and yes, I have fans, and yes, I've made a name for myself, and yes, I've got an amazing resume, but am I truly part of the club?
Now you got to break that down.
Huh?
Now you got to break that down for people that don't know what the club means.
When I look at what has become popular, what has become the new thing, that we are all scrambling for followers and views. And they keep saying you have to take the craft seriously. You have to keep, practicing your craft. Well, when you keep rewarding people that ain't taking the craft serious worth a damn, it makes me wonder
if that's
even what it is. Right now, right before this happened, like I said, I had a calendar full of gigs. I was auditioning my ass off. It was been right in the cusp of pilot season.
Spring, right?
I'm just did a gig this past weekend. I don't have another gig till August. What happened to all them gigs? Now, what I've been told is going to who was hot on social media during this time. Wow. So the hell that I had this gig before, it's now going to somebody who decided to have a bunch of helpers naked twerking for money. Oh, it's going to the person who decided to, be up there talking about everybody, or I don't know whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. It's like, I just have gotten to a point that I realized when I was at the Tyler Perry Studios grand opening back in November, and I had a star with my name on it, on that man's entrance of that studio, which is monumental, historical, just all that. Okay. I realized I've always had a seat at the table. I might not have been at the head. I might not have been the first seat sitting next to the head. I might have been in the middle. I might have been at the kids' table. But I had a seat at the table. Okay? But this has opened my eyes that when I think about, this is probably one of the only businesses that we're in, that no matter how much you achieve, and no matter how hard you work, and no matter what you do, until someone else chooses you, it doesn't matter. If I'm a doctor and I go to I go to medical school and I do my residency, I'm a doctor and I can practice wherever. I can be a doctor. If I'm a lawyer, I go to law school, pass the bar. I'm a lawyer. I can work as a partner somewhere else. I can get my own practice. Entertainment business is the one business that you have to wait until someone says, okay, you. And it sucks. Now, people say all the time, you create your own. You can do your own. Whoop, de whoop, de whoop. Uh-huh. But every person that started that own, look how they inked a deal with a major studio. Look how they got validated because they got this and they got that. You still got picked, boo-boo. You still got picked. Because I know plenty of people that's doing 1,000 videos a week with millions of followers. Ain't nobody picked them yet. This is the only business that no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you sacrifice, no matter how much time you put in, until someone says, you're it.
I was talking to, I wasn't talking to him.
I don't know.
I saw Rodney Perry talking to, what's the guy's name? He looks like Jimmy Walker with the JJ hat on. The comedian.
Oh, you're talking about
Jackson?
Not Ernesto, but the other one.
Jackson. A lot of stuff.
Jackson,
I think he opens for Country Wayne. Mm-hmm, so he's talking to Rodney Perry about Country Wayne. And Rodney's like, man, I know he's going to get some open doors. He's like, no, I know Country Wayne's doing it. He said, they're not calling him. Mm-hmm. Now, Country Wayne has millions now, like you said, his home. Millions
and he was popping before a lot of these people they picking were.
And was doing comedy on stage. Mm-hmm. And could people in the seats. And he has his own and everything, but not calling them. But when I did my interview with Mike Birkenbein, he said something very important. He said, Troy, studios are only doing tentpole stuff, the stuff that they'll put $500 million into a Marvel movie, but they'll give you a small distribution here and there, but they're not putting no big money into it. We know Tyler Perry, we know his history, homeless, all this stuff, his history. But Lionsgate, if I'm not mistaken, was the one that first said, okay, here's your initial. Here's this again. Okay, here's this.
He didn't have a network. He had to go to, was it TBS first? And then he went to OWN.
They actually.
Now he's on BET.
And if it wasn't for the fact that TBS, they saw the course of trend because they gave Coco his deal first, Conan O'Brien, because the whole thing that happened with NBC. And they saw opening in late night. They said, okay, this teeter-totter with late night thing, NBC fires Conan O'Brien. They have to pay him his $40 million. But they fired him. He got the $40 million, decided to keep his crew on. And then TBS comes and they're in the episodic buying thing. And I think when it came to Tyler, they said, okay, we'll buy 100 to 200 episodes. And they started doing those type of deals that when Wendy Williams was trying to get her show together, they were like, okay, we'll buy 6. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's you absolutely right. You had it dead on the nail. Who
Yeah.
chooses you? But now,
Right. It's like, you know, people all the time, I tell people, I said, you know, people say so and so came out of nowhere. I said, no, they've been around, but someone knighted them. Someone with more power said, okay, come over here. I'm gonna put you on this shoulder and walk you in the door. Come on. I mean,
and
and the thing is, it's like, I don't know. I think, you know, it's just one of those things that no matter, it's like, I feel like it's like the donkey in Shrek when he's jumping up in the crowd yelling, ooh, pick me, pick me, pick me, ooh, pick me, pick me. That's what we're all doing, you know? And it's like, for me, you know, I'm just gonna keep it 100 for a second. I know for a sheer fact that I am not one of the chosen ones in my representation. I am merely that piece of gum, that sticky character that you throw up against the wall and hope they stick. I've accepted that for right now, for now, because I'm focused on something else. I don't know. I don't have enough followers to be more important. I don't have enough pull to be more important. You know, I'm not being put in the rooms to make things happen. I'm being put in the rooms with everybody else and hoping I get the role. I get it. You know, those who are making moves and they're being positioned and molded. They're just not being thrown in a room with 1,000 other people and saying, hope you get it.
it is literally on purpose. The only thing that this is the only thing I really love about the pandemic, besides the rest thing, is that the pandemic caused it for billionaires and homeless people to be on the same playing field. Anybody can get it and be out of here.
Mm-hmm.
The uprising is bringing everything to the forefront to the point where the world was like, no, this is wrong. Oh, this is going. It's amazing when you find out people around the world was like, we didn't know it was like this in the U.S. Well, oh, look at the history. Oh, this and another. So all of a sudden, everything's up. When I say what's next, I know you're always on. And the sad thing about us saying this in our industry is that you're right. We're judged on our next.
Mm-hmm.
We are always judged on our next. Hey,
So
Troy,
if you look at my body of work, I've done some incredible things. Right. My resume is incredible. I've been on damn near all networks.
Right. Okay. And that's the thing. That's the thing I think that happened with our girl Monique. At first it was like, oh, Monique just chill and this, that, and other. But then you look back at it, it was like, I guess she's right. Comedy queen, all this history, went from Moesha to having her own show, do this, get the Oscar.
Mm-hmm. Netflix and it still ain't good enough.
It still ain't good enough.
And it still ain't good enough. And that's the thing. When I say I'm picking me, I have been, you know, I constantly get compared to, I remember when I first moved to LA and I was showcasing at all the comedy clubs, trying to just get in and get on the roster to go do my little 3 to 4 minutes a night. And was literally told to my face at a particular comedy club, oh, she's funny, but we already have a Lonnie Love. What? What the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, that's what, you know,
oh,
I
no,
love
we got
that's my girl, but me and her night and day.
I'm not going to say what club it is.
Night and damn day. I'm like, what? You
Number 11 on Friday, that's Lonnie Love. We can't put you in the lineup with all these.
Right. Come on, we already have a Lonnie Love. I'm like, but me and Lonnie, if anybody's ever seen my act and seen her act, no disrespect is my girl, but we're night and day. We're night and freaking day. And I'm like, huh? You know, it's the constant being told you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. But it was the reality check that I got when I was able to put my name and my brand and my gifts on Front Street on IG Live and create a whole lucrative business that sufficed for me and my son during this time when I didn't have a TV, film, comedy, nothing. And that was the wake-up call for me. I said, why am I rushing to go back to being constantly told I'm not good enough when right now where I am, I feel good enough? And that's the thing. It's like, I do miss, you know, when I look at TV shows, you know, I get so tired of people saying, oh, you should have been on this show. Oh, you should have been on that show. Like, I got a damn choice. if I don't get an audition, and mind you, I've made a call or two and got in the room, but if you ain't what they want, boo-boo, if you ain't what they know what they want before you even open your mouth. They know when you walk in the room. And I learned that from a commercial I got. I went out for a commercial where it clearly said a white woman, a white suburbanite woman. I was auditioning for another commercial across the hall. I walk out and the casting director for that commercial says, "Hey, come here. We like your look. Come in here." And I got the damn commercial. And it was that damn AT&T robot commercial.
Right, with the husband.
Right. So it's like, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like I miss LA sometimes. I really do, for the hustle, for the energy. But I also like being somewhere where I can walk outside on my deck and know that the reality was I just spent the last 3 months not working and I didn't lose my house. My lights are still on.
That's damn near a closer. All right, we got. That's damn near.
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
It's like,
drop the mic.
I mean, it's like what is for me next? Picking me, choosing me. I am no longer your donkey. I don't think I can do. The thing is, yeah, you give me an audition right now. It's so many emotions in me. I hope it's a drama because I'm about to kill that bitch. But it don't mean I'm gonna get it. You know how many auditions I've gone on in the last 2 years for nothing to happen? But then the one that do happen, now I know for a fact, that's why I will always speak highly and always love John Singleton. Because if it wasn't for him, that man believed in me. He saw something in me that nobody else did. Even Tyler, he saw that I was more than just a fat, funny sidekick. He saw some depth in me. He brought me in for Snowfall. When that didn't work out, he put me on American, People versus OJ, American Crime Story, which got me in front of Ryan Murphy, who then called me in for 911. It takes that one person. That's why it hurt me so bad when John died, because I said, damn, I finally had somebody that was picking me, and he dies, But I don't know what's next for me. I'll tell you this much. I'm picking me. I'm not doing the damn dance. I'm not doing the damn jig no more. I got plenty of followers and plenty of fans. If you don't want to watch my lives, fine. If you don't want to follow me and like me, fine. I just can't be that donkey and Shrek no more. I can't. I've just found something in me for the first time in years. I'm picking me. I probably look this way because I'm peaceful, brother. I ain't somewhere stressed out about it. Somebody gonna pick me. And it feels good. I don't know if I want to go back to that.
T-shirt. Don't be mad if you see me doing an interview and I got a t-shirt saying, "What's next for me? I'm picking me." And I'm like, Troy! Oh, Coco Brown.
Seriously, that's where I'm at. I've had all this time to think, and it's something about being in that cooking with them in the kitchen with them mixers going, honey. You start thinking about your life and epiphanies, honey. And my grandma used to always tell me she made her best decisions when she went and baked something.
Hey.
And now I know what she meant.
I tell people all the time, cooking is my therapy. They see the Troy the foodie stuff. Oh, I was like, you don't understand. I understand why the old women in there talking about, they
seriously. My grandma used to tell me, she said, baby, if you feel like you got a big decision to make and you don't know what to do, go bake a cake. And I didn't think she was crazy for saying that until I realized when I'm in that kitchen and I'm making stuff and them mixers are going and I'm beating eggs and it's like my brain just comes clear and it's like this peace comes over me and something I might have been pondering. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm grateful to so many experiences. And like I said, I'm not walking away, but maybe I'm not lighting myself on fire for your pleasure anymore.
All right. So I don't know how else to, that's perfect. You've said, I'll say, what do you want to say in closing to encourage everybody? But the biggest thing.
Choose you.
Damn
it. Choose you. Choose you. Everybody's gonna keep changing the damn bar, raising the bar, changing the narrative, changing the requirements. As long as you're you, you'll be able to limbo under that bar every time. Choose you.
All right. How can people get in touch with Coco, let alone order something from Coco? Because everybody needs.
Well, the website is up. So cocoscravables.com. Of course, www.cocoscravables. That's COCOASCRAVEABLES.com. Coco's Cravables. And we have everything. I've got cookies and brownies and pound cakes and muffins and cornbread and oils and butters and everything. So make sure you holler at me and I can. You name it. Okay, and then you can go to the Coco Brown collection as well to get some of my Minty Toes pain relief cream, as well as the body scrubs that are divine. People love them, the scents, and they also have CBD in them as well as my hand sanitizers. And 10% of every sale goes to the National Lupus Foundation, so you're helping a great cause. We need to find a cure for lupus. It's a cancer too, okay? You can do that. You guys can follow me. I'm everywhere. Coco Brown, COCOA Brown. I'm on Instagram, Coco Brown, One Funny Mama. Twitter, Coco Brown 22. Coco Brown, One Funny Mama on Snapchat. Coco Brown, One Funny Mama on TikTok. Coco Brown, One Funny Mama on, Facebook? Just Google me. Coco Brown, COCOA Brown. Please do not forget that A, because if you do, you will get a porn star, and that's not me, okay? So please add that A, COCOA Brown.
So you just advertise her no matter what. It's like, oh, word?
Oh, yeah, let the bitch get, I don't care, what I'm saying? Hell, I done got calls for her work, too, and trust me, I thought about taking it.
It's like, how much?
Like, I said, what? How much?
I'm a little thicker now up top. Okay, I see.
I'm like, hey, they don't compensate for all the time I did it for free. Yeah. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay.
I love you, girl, and I'm thankful for you.
I love you, baby. I miss you so much.
I gotta get there. I miss you too. I gotta get down there and
Yes. It's crazy. We were moving back this summer.
I remember.
I had made up my mind that I was gonna move back this summer. I had got everything in order. I was gonna rent out my house for movies and stuff. I got a girlfriend. She runs a company that does that. She's like, girl, we could pay your mortgage every month for people to be able to shoot in your house or whatever. And I was just gonna get like a cute little 3-bedroom condo out there while I found a house. And then this happened, and that changed everything. So now I'm here.
Hey, all I know is, we know as much as we act a fool and like, oh, why is this going on? God's got his hand on it. He can flip the script on it.
He does. And like I said, it's been an emotional roller coaster for me with all that's going on, especially, like I said, we started out with, the crazy COVID and the quarantine, and now we're in this and everything. And it's like, if I could just say anything to everybody that's watching, man, please understand it's okay to decompress and shut the world out for a second, because this is a lot. I'm an empath, so therefore I feel everything. I mean, there are days I can't watch TV. I can't get the news on. I can't go on social media for hours. I can't, because I feel stuff, and it's like, it's hard. It becomes a weight on me. And trust me, these is already heavy. And then I'm gonna put that on there too. Shit.
You walking around.
Exactly. Looking like, honey, I didn't pick the whole row of cotton. I cannot. Okay, so seriously, take care of your mental health, people. It's okay to decompress. Fight the fight, but know when to tap out and regroup.
Choose you.
Choose you. Choose you.
All right, the sermon for the day. You can pass your at cocoscravables.com. And
yes, get some cravables. I'm baking when I get off the phone with you. I got a couple of orders to fill. So come on.
I hallucinate, so I need the virgin stuff. I need the stuff.
I'll bring you the virgin, baby. I'll give you the virgin. I'll give you the lightweight stuff, the little lightweight stuff.
I don't put nothing in it, or you'll be seeing
nothing.
me.
You can't do anything, even the lightweight. Because I've actually had parents ask me for the lightweight, which is like 0.13% CBD, like THC, for the kids to calm them the hell down. And that's the one that's okay for children, but no. I don't need you. I don't need you doing no Law and Order shit.
Down.
No. Okay.
You mean
I'll just send you a regular cookie. Okay.
You just got cookies. You know,
Yes, I got cookies. Yeah, like you a cookie.
Love you, girl.
I love you too, baby. Give Zoe a big kiss for me, okay?
Most deaf.
All
And,
right, love you, baby.
he'll know. Got to get them together soon.
I know. I showed him a picture of them when they were little, and he goes, "I remember her." I said, "Y'all need to get together." When we move back out there, they're gonna be homies anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be homies.
Yeah. We got to talk. It's a lot.
Yes.
We got to talk another 3 hours. So love you. Hey, make sure
Love
you
you too.
Coco. Love you, girl.
Love you too, baby. Bye.
Love you a bit.
Okay, baby. Bye.